let's talk about the epic zombie adventure that was Three Rivers Plague by Zachary and Joshua Forbes. Hello everyone, welcome back to A Fictional Escapist. My name is Kris, and today's video is a book review of Three Rivers Plague by Zachary and Joshua Forbes. This was a epic zombie adventure which was unapologetically entertaining and a genre mashup to boot. Before we jump into the review today, make sure you check the description box down below for links to my social media and Discord should you want to come along for the ride. Jumping into the plot of this book, these soul smashers are playing their hearts out, rocking out on stage and having an absolute blast. The music is pumping, the crowd is vibing, and Thomas may beat Nick in the riff-off this time. That was all before the green mist started falling from the sky. The band looks out into the crowd and notices something a little bit funky. As the mist touches the masses, their bodies start to turn and mass hysteria follows. Ripped off stage before they can help, these soul smashers are shuffled off into a zeppelin designed to keep them safe. For how long, no one knows. Little does this group of 20 to 30 somethings know they just witnessed the unleashing of one of the world's most powerful biological weapons. Life on the zeppelin isn't fun and games. As soon as someone is suspected of an infection, they end up dead. Or worse, a hunch. When the band group manager, Ben, starts to show signs of the disease, Thomas begs to be allowed to return to Earth to help find help for the only man who has ever believed in him, even if it is a lost cause after all. What they find on the ground was so much more than they bargained for. Mafia-esque groups are at each other's throats, the hunches are supercharged, and they are in more danger than they ever imagined. The Three Rivers Plague has so much to offer the reader. It was such a fun take on a post-apocalyptic zombie genre with a few surprises thrown in there for good measure. My favorite part of this story was definitely how it was executed. So this book was staged in 9 episodes. Each episode focuses on a different aspect of the story, whether that was a character or a change of location. Due to this setup and the way the book was told in this structure, the episodes felt somewhat self-contained even though they flowed on throughout the book, and it kept making me want to turn the page and find out what happened next. I also think that this style of storytelling made quite a long book for this subgenre, in my opinion, more accessible to readers, because you could get to the end of an episode if you wanted to, put it down, and pick up the next episode the next day. But for me, like I said, I just wanted to keep turning the page. It certainly gave off for me that one more episode vibe that you sometimes get when you're watching a good TV show. You just want to find out what happens next before you go to bed. Something else that I really liked about Three Rivers Plague is the way that the author takes no prisoners when it comes to the genre blend. This book is so unapologetic in the way that it blends genres, and there are multiple in this story. It had a little bit of everything inside. The authors have had fun, and you can tell that they've had fun, and they have obviously written the story that they wanted to. And that is the beauty of Indian self-publishing, the fact that authors can just do that. They have nailed that aspect, and their pride for the story can be read in each and every chapter or episode as you make your way through. Now, there are a handful of pop culture references in here for the rock and roll lovers. There's a mafia thriller storyline for people who want a bit of a touch of noir, and we also have horror elements with the hunches as they grow more and more horrific as you make your way through the book. It really did have it all. If you go into this book expecting a lot of fun in a zombie story with a twist, you are going to have a good time here. Also, this book is not without its flaws, even though, I had a very good time with it. I felt like the story itself suffered a little bit from repetition, length, and character work. Again, in my opinion here. There were several scenarios that we had in the book where we would need to go to a specific location to achieve a goal or obtain an item, only to have to go back to that location a few times throughout the story. I'm specifically thinking about the lab where we had to keep going to and from, and some of these instances where we had to go to and from, it felt like it could have been shortened, or could we not have grabbed that thing that we needed from the lab rather than going out, getting a thing, coming back, getting that thing, going back. So it did make the book a little bit long in some parts. It also made for like a repetitive framework of the terrain that we were traveling, where similar things would happen as the characters made their way to the different locations. So for the most part, it's a zombie story. So there was hostile interactions with the Hunchers or the zombies, or one of the two mafia groups, which are sort of ruling the area and making their power plays. I also felt like because this book was so action heavy during these moments of travel, fair enough, we're in a zombie wasteland here, you're probably going to encounter some zombies. It didn't leave a whole lot of room for those characters to grow and have deeper moments because we were going from place to place. Oh crap, there's zombies, or there's the mafia people, we need to deal with that, and doing that rather than letting those characters sort of develop and naturally grow. I will say though, overall, this book was super fun, and it's one of those books that I hope more people give a shot, because if you like your books to have a twist, if you like something a little bit different and ballsy and edgy, you're going to have a good time with Three Rivers Plagues. I mean, if you like zombie novels. If you don't like zombie novels, it's probably not going to be for you. But if it's something that you do enjoy, I would really encourage you to give this one a go. Just maybe don't get attached to any of the characters would be my advice going into this one. That was a really quick review of the Three Rivers Plague by Zachary and Joshua Forbes. Are you going to pick this one up? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like the content, give it one of those, and if you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao.